Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Manny. I'm an animator for TAP where I've done modeling, compositing, a bunch of other stuff. And today I'm going to be showing you guys a thing or two about compositing. What we're going to be learning today is channels and layers. And these two are some of the key points of compositing. Your layers in any compositing program is how you set up your work and begin the editing process. And your channels are the colors in which you're seeing are made up of in order to create a full and clear picture. There are 4 channels that you should know, and these are represented as RGBA. The R stands for red, the G stands for green, and the B stands for blue. The last channel is your alpha channel. Now your first 3 channels are the 3 basic colors that make up every image. Your final channel is your alpha channel, and this channel allows you to see the color and light differences in an image. This means that this channel allows you to see the transparent parts of an image. And as you can see here, while I'm flipping through the R, G, B, and A channels, that the image begins to dim and brighten certain objects in the scene. Now for the red channel, the flowers would be the most notable thing because they are red, so they pop out more. The green channel would be the foliage which the flowers are on top of. This allows you to see the green images in the scene as brighter. And the blue channel does the same thing for the sky because the sky is blue. Now the alpha channel in this image does not exist, which means in that case we have to create the alpha channel. Now your layers are, as I said earlier, how you set up your image and edit it. Every compositing program has some sort of layer edit, and as you can see in this program, these layers are represented by these squares and rectangles. Each layer has a different effect on the image and come with different properties. Now I'm going to briefly go through my layers and show how someone would change this image to this image. So let's begin. You'd first start by bringing in the image you want to change, which is this, the flower garden. Then you would begin to bring in extra layers to start manipulating. Now these arrows here that you see are telling the information from this layer to go and flow into this layer so that it can be changed. This layer is called a hue correct. And if I open it up, I can show you that this allows you to change the saturation, luminance, the red, green, blue, and these other things, and all these other things. As I move my cursor through the image, you see this yellow line begin to jolt around. And that's because it's trying to show you where the pointer is and what the color is that you're on. And we want to change a red flower, so we put the cursor over the red flower and allow the hue correct to tell us where the yellow line is so that we can manipulate it on the chart with these line graphs here. Now because we want to get rid of the redness in the flowers, the yellow line should be over here, where you would take one of these points, drag it down, and allow it to change its color like this. Now that we've taken the red out, we're going to merge these two together in order to bring the image together to create an alpha. Now a merge node, which is this layer right here, combines this layer and allows you to change it in a certain way. Now for this merge, we have something called a difference, and this just shows you what's different between this layer and this layer. And in this case, it's the fact that we've taken the red out of the scene, so that's all highlighted. Next, you would go about changing the channels with a shuffle node, and if I double click that, it'll show you what it does. So a shuffle node allows you to manipulate each channel separately. The red channel here, the green channel here, and the blue channel here, as well as the alpha channel here. The red for this will be red, the green for this would stay on green, and the blue for this would stay on blue. But if I wanted to, I could change the blue in the scene to a green or even a red, and that would change the color of the scene. Now for an alpha channel, if you select red, green, or blue, it will create an alpha where you've taken the red. Now, the next node or layer is called the grade node. And the grade node allows you to change colors as well as the white point of a scene and a black point of a scene. The black point are the shadows and the dark parts of the image, like this here. And the white point allows you to change the whites in the scene to brighten or dim. The gain allows you to change the color of the scene to brighten it or darken it in a similar way as the gamma, but the gamma boosts not only the gain, but the saturation, hue, and stuff like that. Then you would bring in a copy layer, which copies the information from this layer and all of these layers that we've edited and bring them together like a merge node. And this allows you to take the scene with no alpha and merge it together with the information of these layers that we use to create an alpha, so that the image now has an alpha. Now, if you remember earlier, when I selected this and had the alpha channel open, it was nothing. But because we've changed the hue, added a difference, and turned the shuffle on, this allowed us to create an alpha channel for the image. Then you would go about doing the same steps as you did in the first part to take the color out of the flowers. This is so that the image knows the flowers is the only thing that has to be changed. Then you add a new grade node to change the color by changing the gamma to match the color information that you want the flowers or anything else in the scene to look like. And you would go about that by going over here and just simply scrolling through this and changing the input. Now, if I was to up this number, the flowers would change colors, as well as anything else that's red in the scene. The same is said for the green. We can make the flowers blue, teal, any color you'd like, so long as it matches the properties of the color that you're trying to find. Then, if you would notice, the color of the sun's rays changed. Now, this is due to the fact that in the original image, the sun had a little bit of red in the sky, and because we took the red out of the flowers, it also affected the sun and changed the color of where the sun is. Now, to get that nice orange glow back, you would bring in a second copy of the original image and edit it with something called a roto. Now, a roto is important in compositing because no matter what program you use, you need a roto so that you can mask out what you need in the scene. In this case, the only thing that we need is this background here so that we can keep the color of the sun rays up here instead of it turning into like a bluish purple that we have in the other scene. So you would take your roto, as I've done here, and create a little area to outline, and then you would go down to your layers and add a pre-molt. Now, a pre-molt allows you to tell the program, okay, I don't want to keep anything that's outside of this red box here. I only want this part so that I can keep editing my image. Now, when you add a pre-molt, it cuts it all out. Then you would use another merge node, such as the one we used here, but instead of using the difference operation here, which allowed you to see the difference in the images, you would use a over, which allows you to put the images together. And that's how you would create this image. So, yeah.